hopefully all of your preparations are going well. So since some of you wanted a session specifically on econometrics, so we thought we'll do the session today. So as you must be knowing that before the onset of the pandemic and the shutdown of universities, we used to have offline coaching classes inside the campus. So since now we do not have such an option, from the DSF, we decided that we'll start an online coaching or assistance program for students who would be appearing for JNU EE this time. We understand there are a lot of difficulties with the current system with the online mode of education and an issue of digital divide and access. From the DSF, we'll try our maximum to make sure that whatever materials and whatever classes are being held are accessible for everybody. So we have decided to record the session as well. So in case somebody is not able to access this class, they can always go to our YouTube channel. I have shared the link in the chat box, so you can find the classes there. So today's session will be taken by Sebonti. She is an MA first year student in the Center for Economic Studies and Planning. So I think she'll be able to guide you through the session. And also we also have Briti with us. So as you must be knowing, she also had handled our earlier session. So in case of any doubts, you can also reach out to them, or you can please post your queries in the chat box or in the WhatsApp group. So I think I'll now ask Sebanti to take over the session. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Shebonti. I'm a first year student of economics at CSP. So I've been asked to take a session on regression analysis, basically econometrics. So I'm sure by now all of you know what regression is and all. I want to give you like a brief, uh, you know, summary of what all you need to know for this exam. And I'll tell you how I prepared when I appeared for JNUE. I usually followed the book Gujarati, so you can do that. And of course, there are other books, but I think Gujarati summarizes everything in like very short, so you can follow that. So, I mean, of course, you all know, but like I just want to ask you still, like, what is regression? Like, how would you define it? Does anyone want to like say something? Okay, like if you don't want to try, regression is basically you want to find the dependence of one variable on other variables. And the aim of your study is to estimate or predict the values of a variable based on some other variables whose values you know. So in regression analysis, basically you have one variable which is completely random or stochastic, and the dependent variable is random variable, and the independent variables are you have a given value basically. I mean, you have given values for the variables. And the dependent variable is called regressant, and the independent variable is called regressor. So this is basic of what it is. So a lot of us confuse it with what correlation is. So correlation is basically the linear dependence between two variables, which is different from regression, because in correlation you do not take into both the variables are equal basically. So in correlation, the difference is in correlation both the variables are random. Okay, so that's a difference you should keep in mind. And then if we look at the population, okay, I want to share my screen also. Can you guys see my screen?
Hi, Trisha.
Yes,
Acha.
ma'am.
Acha. So, if you can see this function, basically it's a screenshot from the Gujarati book only. So we want to find in this case the effect of income on consumption. Basically, how much, like, how are people deciding their consumption expenditure based on their income, right? So we want to find the function between the two. So weekly income, if you can see, are given to us. Not given to us, it's like we know these are the weekly incomes, and for each weekly income we have some data points here. Basically, for each, say if for weekly $80 income, we have data points on the y-axis, basically for consumption. Okay. And for $140 also we have consumption expenditures given in this way. So these are the consumption like for every income we have many consumption expenditure, which is the point I'm trying to make, that income, the regressor is, you have only specific values, but the dependent variable, which is consumption here, has many values basically. So for 80 you have, these are the many values that y can take basically. So someone has a consumption of 65, someone has 101, 149. You have a list of consumption. So this gives you the population mean, basically. These points, so these consumption patterns follow a normal regression. So if you want to find the distribution of values, okay, for 80, like the distribution of values on the y-axis, like this gives us the, it gives us a normal curve. We assume that it will give us a normal curve, and that will give us an expected value, or the mean, basically. The mean of these distributions we are joining. So these are the means. We are joining all the mean points, the average points, basically. So joining these, we get the average consumption for income. So for each income, for income $80, the average consumption that people who earn $80 is $65. So these people who are earning $80, they only consume $65 and they save the rest, basically. For people who earn $140, they consume $101 and they save the rest. So we join these points, the points of average points, and this gives us the expectation of y given xi. So what is that? You must be knowing expectation, right? I mean, expectation is basically the average. It is giving you the average of y given xi, means for one each value of xi. For when xi is 80, the average is 65. When xi is 140, the average is 101. So while after joining this curve, you get the expected value for each of these income levels. So this straight line gives us the expectation of y given xi, and it is called the conditional mean. This given xi, this thing is called the conditional mean, basically. So this is called the population regression line. So in this case, we are considering all the units in the population, like the entire population. Whoever is there in our study, all the people, we are considering all of them. So this is giving us the population regression line. Since we know data about everyone here, we do not need to estimate anything because this is the population itself. And wait. Yeah, okay, I'll just turn off the camera. So if you understood that, so population regression is basically, you had, if you remember the diagram, the picture I showed you, it is showing you population, like consumption is a linear function of income, right? So if income, अच्छा, सो इन द जो डायग्राम हमने देखा उसमें क्या था कि कंजम्पशन एक लीनियर फंक्शन था। हमने क्या किया, इनकम के लिए पॉइंट्स, ईच इनकम ग्रुप के लिए जो पॉइंट था फॉर डिफरेंट कंजम्पशन, ओके, फॉर ईच इनकम ग्रुप हमने वो प्लॉट किया पहले। सब मतलब सब पॉइंट्स हमने प्लॉट किया, ठीक है। तो उसको प्लॉट करने के बाद हमने क्या किया, हमने वो एवरेज पॉइंट्स जो है फॉर ईच इनकम ग्रुप, हमने उस पॉइंट्स को ज्वाइन किया और हमको एक लाइन मिला। वो लाइन है हमारा एवरेज, मतलब कंडीशनल मीन कहते हैं इसको, क्योंकि इसमें हमको मिल रहा है एवरेज ऑफ कंजम्पशन फॉर इनकम, ठीक है। सो क्या मैं इसको लिखता है एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ वाई गिवन एक्स। हमारा सिचुएशन में ये है एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ कंजम्पशन गिवन इनकम, और ये लीनियर इक्वेशन है। तो लीनियर इक्वेशन होने के लिए इसका इक्वेशन का फॉर्म क्या होगा, a plus bx बेसिकली। सो एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ y गिवन x इज इक्वल टू, वो हमारा y है इस सिचुएशन में बेसिकली, इज इक्वल टू a plus bx। इसको हम पॉपुलेशन रिग्रेशन लाइन कहूंगी, कहते हैं। जब हम व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट लीनियर रिग्रेशन, we usually mean linear in parameter, okay, and not linear in variables. So this is a common mistake people make, and you may get questions from this, that you may be given equations. You may be given equations, and you may be asked if they are linear or not in the regression sense. So say you have an equation like expectation of y given x is equal to alpha plus beta x squared. In that case, I can write it down, 1 second.
Sebanti, your screen is not visible. I mean, if you are
Yeah,
pressed.
no, I'm not sharing it. I'm thinking.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
It's visible.
ठीक है. So if you have an equation like this, I'm very slow. I'm sorry. So if you have something like this, basically, इस equation में, I'm just switching between languages with my very bad Hindi so that you understand. इस equation में देखिए कि इसमें x square है, पर ये पैरामीटर नहीं है। पैरामीटर कहते हैं ये a और b को। These two are the parameters. X square is not a parameter, it is the variable. It is like income. In this case is x square. In the diagram we saw, expectation of y given x is basically the average consumption. So anytime you're asked to find is this equation linear, you have to think that is it linear in parameters, a और b का फॉर्म लीनियर है क्या और नहीं है। इसमें a और b लीनियर है, कोई लीनियर मीन्स नो पावर, नो हायर पावर, e to the power alpha or e to the power a in this case, or 8a square, nothing of that sort basically. So these are linear equations. If you do say a plus b square x square, in that case it does not, it becomes non-linear because parameter becomes squared, so it's a quadratic, the parameter is quadratic. So although this equation is quadratic, as long as b isn't, b has like 1, the power of 1, it is linear. That's the point I just wanted to make. As long as the equation looks like this, the equation is linear. Okay, so this is a point. Wait. So if you remember the diagram we saw, in that, so in regression analysis, what is most important is the error term. You have to, we need to do sample, we will see sample के लिए क्या होगा, पर यहाँ भी the error term is most important, ठीक है? तो एक second, if we go back to the previous diagram that we saw, we can see what the error term looks like. So if we look at this diagram, for example, this graph, this is the midpoint is the average, right? So a point like this will be yi. It's any value of y. I means for any ith individual. This is how we write. So for any value of y, this is y bar. And the difference, say for 80, some person कोई ना कोई होगा जो 149 consume करेगा. Not everyone who's earning $80 will consume $65, right? Someone will be consuming, people are consuming along this length. Someone is consuming $149. तो इसको error term कहते हैं, the difference between 149 and 65. This difference will give us the error term. This is the population error basically. So basically 65 you will get by subtracting from 149 you have to subtract this difference, then you will get the mean. So this difference between the actual value and the average is called the error term. This is very important to remember because when we go to sample regression function, which is most important, you will get to see the the utility of error terms. So the model that undergrad में you study is the classical linear regression model. उसका कुछ assumptions है जो questions आता है उसके बारे में. So I'm just saying the expectation of the error term is 0. The variance of the error term is constant. इसको homoscedasticity कहते हैं. The covariance is 0. Covariance मतलब two error terms have no correlation between them. इसको मतलब if you don't know what correlation and what homoscedasticity means, it's okay. You won't be asked, I think, we've never been asked these questions. So, but it's good to know the assumptions because you may be asked questions on the assumptions itself. So this is one thing. So these are three main assumptions that you should remember. I'm repeating. One is that the expectation of UI is 0. The expectation of the error term is 0, means the average of all errors is 0. So basically some errors are positive, some are negative, they cancel out and the average error is 0. The variance of the error terms, which means how much does each error term deviate from its average, is the variance, right? The variance is a constant. हम ये constant को sigma square, we will call it sigma square basically. It's a notation. We usually say it like this. It is any constant basically. And the covariance, which means the relationship between two error terms, is also 0. So once you know these assumptions, we can talk about the sample regression function. So usually क्या होता है when we study something, the population is very huge, right? So if we want to study, say, agriculture sector of India, which one should I repeat? The assumptions क्या? ठीक है. So there are three assumptions. I'm writing it down, so you just write it down and remember. See, one is expectation of UI is 0. This is the first assumption. The second assumption is variance of UI is a constant, and we call the constant sigma. ऐसे लिखते हैं sigma square. This is the second assumption. This is called the assumption of homoscedasticity. The third assumption is covariance between UI and UJ. We write like this. Covariance between UI and UJ is also 0. Okay, this is called non-autocorrelation. These are the three assumptions. So now we will talk about the sample regression function. So usually when we are studying something, the population is very huge, right? We can't study the entire, if we want to study the manufacturing sector or the agricultural sector, we can't really get data for everyone. सब farmers का data collect करना possible नहीं है. So हमको क्या करना है? We have to create a sample. We have to like take data from some farmers of all over India. We have to make a representative sample basically. And when we deal with a sample, then we have to estimate. Then we have to find the line we saw, na, key consumption and income. We knew the data from all every person ka consumption kya hoga for each income level. So we could just join those points. In this case, we do not know the consumption level of every person. So we have to think about the sample regression function, and I'll show you the diagram so that you understand how to construct it. So if you look at this diagram, if you remember this population regression function, this is the diagram, the solid line population regression function. You understand, I guess. Or you have taken a sample. Sample point hai say this one is a yi hat. When you take a sample value, you add like a cap on top of the value. Okay? So this is your yi hat. This is your sample value. इसके लिए you have to, so you join, so these are the population values. You have many such population values. So how do you find out the population regression function? Once again, the error term is the game changer basically. So you have ui, you have yi hat, and the actual value of yi, say, is yi. I mean, the actual value is yi, the sample value is yi hat. The population value. There are many other population values, don't forget, in this, like above yi hat and below yi hat. We have to take the difference from yi and yi hat. This difference is called the ui hat, or the sample error term, or the residual. We call it the residual, yi minus yi hat. So what we want to do is we want to minimize the residuals. We want to bring the points as close to the population points, to the sum of the population points. So what are we doing? Yi minus yi hat is the error term ui hat. So we want to basically square, I will write it. Yeah, so what we want to do here is we want to, one second. We want to find out each ui is equal to yi minus yi hat. We want to square all of these values. We will square these values. Squaring both sides. And then we will sum it. Doing that, this is our problem. Then what we have to do is we have to minimize this. So the problem is to minimize the error terms, and minimizing this, you will get values for a hat and b hat. This hat is because you're estimated. In the previous example, in this example, expectation of y given x, we wrote a plus b x or a plus b x square, whatever. In this case, you know the values of a and b, so you don't have to do this. You have to do this minimization because you don't know the values of a and b. This is a sample, right? You want to get the population, you want to estimate the population from the sample. So for that, you have to minimize. After minimizing, this exercise is not necessary, this derivation, you will get a hat and b hat. And according to a theorem called the Gauss-Markov theorem, the estimates of the a hat and b hat that you will get will be best linear unbiased estimator. I'm just writing the name of the theorem here. It's too difficult to write there. This is the theorem. You might be asked what is the theorem according to which it's called the best linear unbiased estimator. So now that we have values of a hat and b hat, now we have to think that the regression, the line that we found out, the equation that we found out, is it a good equation? For that, we have to find the goodness of fit. Goodness of fit is given by ESS by TSS. So what is TSS? TSS is basically summation yi minus y hat. If you remember the diagram, the first diagram we saw, the average of the incomes, we have to subtract the average of the income from each data point, each yi, we subtract the average of the income. That will, and we square and sum it, we get the total sum of squares, or the TSS. The ESS is given by the beta hat value that you will get, that into the variance of x, basically. Beta hat into variance of x will give you the ESS. ESS is basically the same thing as TSS with the sample values. Matlab, the difference between the sample value and the mean of the sample and the average of the sample values. So if we do a sample regression using the consumption income, that graph, so it is the for each estimated sample point, you want to, I mean, for each sample point, you take that and the average of the sample point for that income level, say for $80, the average is coming out to be $60. You take the sample for each sample point, you subtract that with the average, that will give you the ESS. It is given by beta hat into variance of x. So this is all I had to say. If you want to ask questions or anything, you can do that.